When I say hammer, you say barn. Hammer?
Time.
Oh, that was...
Is that not right?
You got that wrong so quickly. I love it. we shouldn't hang out before we record. That's the problem, because then we just get the giggles and we do stuff. But welcome back to the Hammer Barn Project. We're going to bark down an episode of Bluey in a second. Thanks for tuning in. Do we still say that? Tuning in?
Tuning.
They stopped saying that a while ago.
This episode of the Hammer Barn Project is called Too Good.
But we were hanging out earlier, weren't we, Frank?
We were.
Can you tell us what we were doing?
Yeah, we were
Being excellent friends.
lifting heavy things. We were moving.
We were moving
boxes
because I
don't want to bury the dog lead.
Don't want to bury the leash. But avid listeners will remember our good friend Martin. How you doing, Martin?
I'm well.
He used to live in Sydney.
I did.
And then they moved back to Adelaide, something we were very, very excited about.
Oh, yeah.
But it wasn't good enough for us, Frank.
Had to be closer.
We needed proof. We needed proof that he was sticking around.
Mm-hmm.
And he kept
so
saying,
you took all my stuff
Put it in some boxes.
and then took
And
it to a
said,
house.
We'll only give it back if you spend all the money you have on a
And
house
more.
close to us.
Real estate market. Woof.
That's
And
at
he did
least
it! Yay!
I moved to a new house. We bought a house. Hooray!
Yay! So it's proof. He's here, at least for a while.
And,
No,
and to
no.
anyone under 35, it is possible. I know it doesn't seem like it right now.
He's
but
a sneaky guy, though. I'm still thinking maybe he could just up and, abandon us any minute. But I think, no, I'm feeling better about it now that you've got bricks and mortar.
That's it. Yeah. Only 13 minutes from here.
How
now,
did you
so we
get
go-
here, by the way, Frank? I went
the back way.
left onto the lower northeast,
Nah.
and then right onto Valley,
No, right
Then-
on to northeast, go up, and then
and then Hancock.
Hancock, yeah.
Oh, okay, is that quicker? Because I went left onto the lower northeast, right onto Valley, left onto Grand Junction, right onto Reservoir. Reservoir becomes Ladywood,
Nah, that's too far. You've sort of done this crazy.
and you're
dog.
going. I don't know,
Welcome to the
we'll get a
Northern
map.
Suburbs
We'll get a map.
road map.
I think it's a nice drive.
podcast.
I think it's a nice
That's
drive.
an old joke, isn't it?
Trying to find
It is.
Marty's house by doing that backwards podcast.
We haven't done that joke in a while, have we?
Oh, the old
Making our show
welcome,
something-
welcome to this
something else.
other podcast. Yeah.
Bringing it back.
Yeah, I've been it's been because I've been behaving myself, which is something that I haven't done because we hung out earlier, and now I got the giggles.
We've also got to bring back some other things because we're running very moving times because we've just got
Yes.
random headphones on because we weren't really very organized.
Yeah,
Where are your
And-
headphones currently, Marty?
Huh?
Where are your headphones currently?
I don't know.
Yeah,
That's the point.
they're probably in a box.
They're in a
somewhere.
box or in a bag.
But I saw
or don't
lots
know.
of boxes today.
Yeah.
They were a lot.
It's in
There
one
are
of
a lot
them.
of boxes.
Yeah.
And even we haven't got our sound effects because it's not the same SD card.
So we're a
it's
mess.
this is
We're
just
a
like,
mess.
well, I can't find the sticky tape to put on the boxes. I can't figure out whether the labels are actually matching what's in the boxes.
They're
I
not.
don't-
They're not.
No. But it lends itself to a certain Bluey episode that we might
Oh.
have decided to choose to do today. Now we used to throw to Frank straight away, get you to say, but do we want to do that? Or do we
I
wanna-
think we're gonna just slightly tweak how we do things here.
Okay. Yeah.
Marty's Bare Bones could, as wonderful as they are, has been described as a tale of two cities. You've got the what was the phrase?
Highfalutin.
Highfalutin,
Highfalutin.
but I think the phrase was glorious ridiculousness that somebody
Oh,
wrote in.
yes. No,
Somebody
that
wrote
was-
in and said that.
Yep.
And that is the first half. And then you break character, shall we say, and then go, no, what's it actually about? But so we're gonna reorder it. So we're gonna start with
all right.
Marty with the highfalutanness.
I mean, some of your bare bones for today might also be in a box somewhere that you can't find. But do
My
your
notes
best,
are-
and we will today and only today we will be lenient.
All right. So this episode, which we haven't yet named, it's really about the Burleigh Mall, isn't it? The East Side.
Why was I worried?
he's got nothing prepared except history.
Sorry, go too
It's
on.
just down the center. So you've got, the Western side, the modern, the newly set up.
Mhm.
We've got We've got lamps, we've got books, we've got everything we need, and then we've got the old side, the eastern side, the block, with a certain Malcolm character being representing, the old ways, the sleepy ways. No.
Oh wow!
Not bad.
This guy's his entire life has been turned upside down, and he's had to take inventory and everything and move it across the city, and he still comes up with that.
All this is a roundabout way to say this episode of Bluey is called Bedroom.
Yes, it is.
Oh boy! I cannot.
Still
wait.
Marty.
Still
You
Marty.
be quiet.
Still Marty. But I cannot.
So
wait.
what's this episode about? It's about a bedroom, a room becomes free in the house, and Bluey decides that she's going to move off from their existing shared bedroom with Bingo and move into this new room, so they have a separate bedroom. So it's about having that new room and figuring out whether that feels okay, whether you want to change things.
Now, this was very exciting because this is the start of season 3.
Yes,
And I believe it dropped sort of on its own for a bit before other.
Perfect came out on Father's
Yeah, that's what I'm
Day.
thinking of.
That's
You're
the
right.
one, yeah.
And we weren't sure at the time that it dropped whether that was going to be regarded as season 3,
Episode 1.
which it is considered that now.
Yeah.
But this was the first of the new season 3
Yes.
bracket. So this was like really what we thought the start of season 3 was going to be.
Yeah.
And what a start.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh my word.
And we've already talked about it a bit because we talked to the two bandits.
Yes,
and
that's
we did
true.
our
Yep.
sort of spoiler episode on this one, but we haven't done our own personal breakdown on this
No.
one. So it's time.
It's time.
Because it's about moving boxes. Like when we sort of originally came up with it, like, oh, let's do a moving episode because
Yeah.
Marty's moving. I was kind of like, bedroom's about the best one I can think of, but
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
pretty long bow. But then there's that, you have the opening house shot and then they're in the room of bandits picking up the boxes. And I just felt that through my body.
Yeah,
Because
right.
that's what I've been doing
Yeah.
all week.
Yes,
and
boss.
like, just picking up the boxes and just
Yeah.
like straight back and doing that
And
whole
discovering
feel.
things. Was there much rediscovery of things and just going, and any emotive experiences, Marty?
Well, I think we're getting there early, but I think for me, it's kind of backwards of what's happening in this episode because
Okay.
we're moving into a whole new
Yes.
house
Yeah.
to start to have the experience. Like, because in
Right.
that opening sequence, Chili is getting quite emotional about the idea that we've moved past certain things in,
Yeah.
the
They grow up
family
so
life.
fast.
And basically that sort of idea. For me, we're moving into a new house where Naomi's going to have her own bedroom for the first time. And
Right.
she's getting
Yeah.
excited, not about that actually at all. She's getting
About
the washing line.
The
She's
clothesline?
she's
The
getting
clothesline.
very excited. Like we went in, we showed her the whole house, and she's just like, my own washing line.
Yeah. In fact, and she said that because these two guys were moving boxes into your house,
Yep.
your new house, when
Yep.
I finished work and I went by myself to the old place
Yep.
where I caught up with Marty's Ali. And so it was just Ali and Naomi by themselves. And Naomi, even without your prompting, told me about the washing
Yeah.
line.
Yeah.
I got there and said, hey, I'm excited about your new place. And she goes, yes, I've got a new washing line. My favorite thing is the washing line.
Mhm.
I said, oh, what kind of washing line is it? And she said, it's green and it spins around. And I
Perfect.
just went, that's all you need to say.
Yeah.
And
Can picture it.
I'm
I
with
kind
you
of actually got a
100%.
little emotional myself because I'm like, you're back in South Australia now with your Hills hoist. It was probably made just around the corner.
So yeah, I'm sort of sensing it from a different point of view. Is like, it really does feel like things are starting. So it's nice
Yeah.
coming back to Adelaide. It's like, stuff's starting. Like there's a new selection of experiences we get to have, and similarly coming into a new house. And
That's
that
really
sort of thing.
exciting,
So that's
man.
nice, yeah. But similarly, the idea of being emotional about life phases.
Yes.
I guess that's what, through this episode. And Chili's quite, she's having a moment. She's really, and it's really sweet the way Bluey reaches up and holds her hand.
Yeah.
while
Right.
she's thinking
Yeah.
about
It's
the
a
fact
great
that-
moment.
Yeah.
It's got a little tear in her eye.
So much to look at in this episode, like all the things in the background in the
Yes,
in the
that's
rooms.
what I was going to ask.
Like it's just
All the toy cameos you can imagine
Yeah.
from previous episodes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I did have a list, but I don't have my notes because they're in a box. But what are the things that you notice in that first shot it's been the baby's room.
Yeah.
The mobile.
Mobile, yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
yes.
What are some of the other things that are like baby things that you don't need anymore once people aren't babies?
Pram. That
Yeah,
were all
prams in there.
Yeah,
Yep.
Prams in there.
Other things.
I mean, the crib's the obvious one, but we've
Crib's
got
the other
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
Crib is up.
So we're ditching the crib. Is it ditching or dumping? So we're dumping the cart.
Dumping the cart. Yeah, that's it. After she's had her
Bandit's
moment.
timing
sorry,
is
yeah,
wonderful.
what a line.
No.
I've derailed
It's
from
a-
your activity.
And
So
that's a-
was
that
it
is-
one of those rocker things that
Yeah,
you,
there's
you put them
something
in?
like that. It's
Yeah.
kind of like either a what is it, bassinet sort of
Yep.
thing. But yeah, there's one of those. My favorite one is the door gate. Like that
wow.
would have gone at the top
The
of the
baby
stairs.
gate.
The
Yeah.
baby gate.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's just behind some stuff, but you know from the coloration and the form that's what it is. It's just
Yeah.
Gotta
speaks
go.
really
Oh
clearly.
boy.
I reckon the chair in there, that's the feeding chair.
Yes.
There's the change table
Ah,
is in the near right, like just at the front. They've got a
Yeah.
packet of wipes sticking out.
Yeah.
Oh, there was one or two more things in there, but I can't remember. They're on my list. But it's just all this whole round of things of like, yep. Oh, that's what it was. The play dome. So the sorts of thing they'll lie down and they've got the things on top of them
Ah,
to look
yes,
at,
yes.
lie
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
back.
yeah.
And yeah, there's one of those in there. But,
I want one
yeah.
of those.
Yeah, you would really enjoy that, wouldn't you?
Adult,
It's just got little
sort of like
guitars on
grown up
there
play.
and-
Like, yeah, that'd be great.
It's
I just
got
bling, bling,
harmonicas hanging
pour,
from it.
pour at them wistfully.
But I have to say, I think I remember saying to the two bandits for that line you mentioned, Brendan.
Oh,
what was
boy.
it?
So we're dumping the cart?
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Men are about moving things and not emotional intelligence.
Yeah, right. Yes.
Which I stick to this day. That's
Yes.
just like the whole episode of this.
And I was thinking about that. And I also think it's great because we've got the broad spectrum of getting to know Bandit through other episodes. Like he's not like a
No,
heartless
he's
guy.
not.
And it makes me enjoy it more because it's this light-hearted, different moment that they're having.
Yeah.
Like he's
Yeah.
being very practical. He's the muscle in this
Yeah.
episode, just moving everything and just doing what he's told. But it's just like it's okay that they've got those different moments because it's not
Yeah.
like he doesn't understand. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
and then that joke reoccurs later on when the girls are like trying to say goodnight and
Yeah.
and they're dragging it out because they've suddenly
Yeah, yeah.
realizing where they're at, and he's standing in the middle and he rolls his eyes and he has a sigh and then he's like, right, that's enough, go to bed. And
Yeah, yeah,
pushes them
right.
apart because
Right,
he's like, right, we're done here. Like,
Yeah. It's,
That moment,
so
that's
fun.
what really got me to the East and West Germany sort of
Sure.
style.
Excellent.
Because he feels like a prison guard at that
Yeah.
stage. He's
Yeah.
standing there and he's trying to get them into their cells. Like,
well, a good prison guard, you could arguably call them a big fella.
Yep, that's
Mm.
true.
Don't call me big fella.
Don't call me that.
Hey,
Hey,
just-
big
hey,
fella.
So funny, just seconds afterwards, and he just doesn't have the energy to like correct again.
And Naomi intermittently will call me big fella.
Nice.
no.
It's so funny. There's just been a few times.
That's
And it
brilliant.
just
Yeah.
happens every once in a while. I'll be just, because she's constantly like, oh, pick that up, get
Goals.
that thing, whatever it is,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. We're just doing something in the garden one day and I filled up the watering can for her and she's like, thanks, big fella. And then just went on to do whatever she was doing.
Goals.
This moves so fast, this episode, because they go straight from being in the room, then they're
Yeah.
like, oh, it'll just be a spare room.
Yeah.
And the idea of like, oh, you both want to move into this other room. Even Chili can't perceive
She's
them
like,
being
"What?"
separate,
yeah.
which
Yeah.
is really fun.
It's
And then-
it's a perfect storm, this episode, like what it evokes in me and where it came. Like I was just thinking season 3 is coming out and then this happens. And I remember watching it just being left aghast because I just think it was the perfect reintroduction. Like
Yeah.
it had been
Yeah.
a while.
To the family
and-
dynamic.
and-
And it's
yeah.
one of those episodes that's just the core Hilo family. You
Yeah.
don't have
Yeah,
any sort of
that's true.
cameos from anyone else.
Mm.
Although there is one new character, but we'll circle back to that. The bit that I take this episode to task on is
Ooh.
the sharing of the toys. And they're evenly divided, and then they have this quite thoughtful and very almost logical discussion about, well, it was
That's
a present
also
to me,
sweet, yeah.
but Granddad didn't get you a birthday present, because Granddad forgot I was born.
Yes,
You know,
he forgot
and And
were
then
born.
and then
That's just the repeating in there. Yes, he forgot you were born.
they arrive at this where Bluey's like, oh no, you can have this, and then I think it goes the other way where Bingo goes, you can have Lampy or
Yeah.
whatever it is.
Yeah.
And I remember, and I'm pretty sure I might have said this to the bandits.
Yeah.
My wife,
yes, that's
my
right.
wife Ali saw this and she just goes, no.
Yeah.
As someone who had an older sister and had to share rooms, that level of sharing does not happen in real life.
But the thing about the sharing, which I'm ashamed to say I didn't notice until I rewatched it for this episode, is how tidy this episode is and how tidy it paints this idea of it's not the thing, it's who's been in it. Like it's not the room,
Yeah.
it's who's been in it.
Mm.
Which Chili says right up front. It's not the cot, it's who's been in it. And every toy that they have a dilemma about, and everything they have a dilemma about, has a story and has a thing beyond the
'Cause
material
it's not
thing.
about the thing.
Like the
Yeah.
Gloria has the story about who Gloria was given to and why. And then the rug, can I have the rug? Yeah, sure. But can we have a race first?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the race that they have,
Rug race.
a rug race that they go around
I'm winning.
yeah,
Change.
that whole thing of I'm winning change. I reckon I know them well enough to know that they've known this game well
Yeah.
enough that that line from Bluey, like I'm winning, that's a
That's
cue,
the cue.
for,
when you watch
Bingo
it,
to say,
Bluey-
turn.
yeah.
They know how the game goes,
Yeah.
and then the salt lamp, like
Sleepaway.
like, oh, can we play? Can we play this game one
Yeah.
more time? And like, we'll circle back to the final moment when we get there, but just like it's not the thing, it's what stories it has. It's who.
Yeah, that's a great point.
it's the personality that thing brings and how they connect to them as people. And it's yeah, the whole episode is just so tidy like that. And I didn't so tidy, in fact, that it can go unnoticed by me until now.
I'm going to take us back around to men moving things.
Yes, please do.
Poignant. Yeah.
'Cause,
Yep.
Yeah,
There's a lot of that
but
today.
the
We're pretty
first-
tough.
all done. And then he's just like, oh, what? I think he gets the
Yeah.
same line about 3 times, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
But I felt seen by Bandit trying to move the entire bed through the door by himself
Oh man.
without deconstructing it in any way.
No.
No.
It's like the whole thing altogether. That is
What if I can do
100%
this?
what I would do.
Yeah.
I wouldn't bother to like Ali would be there. She'd take the mattress off.
Yeah.
She'd take the pillows
No.
out. It was just
Even
like,
if he
I'm
did
like-
end up having to do that, he needed to try.
yeah. But I'd just be like, oh, nah, it'll be even if I can't get it the first time, it'll be faster if I just push the whole
Yeah.
thing. If I fail, whatever, it won't matter.
You know-
and it just makes it like 3 times harder
Yeah.
and as long and
Yeah.
you know, but I just can't be bothered taking all the stuff apart to get
No.
it out the door. I'm just gonna push it.
I liken that to the male attitude of taking shopping out of the car,
One
where
trip.
you just go,
yeah, one trip.
how many bags can I possibly grab on each hand to do this all in one go? Yeah, I might lose feeling in my left
Yeah.
arm by the time I get inside, but it's done.
More trips just doesn't compute. Like, why would I do this trip more than once? It doesn't make
What if
sense.
it takes 3 times as long as it would to do 2 trips?
Yeah.
Or like,
Yeah.
It's like, no,
But,
I'm only
but
not doing that.
that's more trips. Yeah, everything Bandit does is so funny. Like, do we talk
Getting the
about
shoulder
the
out?
yeah.
Just winding the shoulder
Yeah.
after that, both the times he has to move something after he pushes Bingo's bed into position.
and do we talk about the bags not?
Not
Yeah, not yet.
Because we have to talk about Malcolm.
Oh, we do have to talk about Malcolm.
There's
I've just
like, oh,
I've just
you-
got Bandit on the brain because everything he does is such a mood in this episode.
Oh, yeah, couch.
But just the idea, so they move. Oh, Bingo, you move your bed to where mine was. Yeah, so we can still watch Malcolm.
Yeah.
Is that all right? I love the. Is that
Yeah,
okay?
the
Yeah, that's
checking.
okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
Like, because that's it's
They care
it's got a
about-
dynamic to
Yeah.
it, doesn't it? It's like,
Mm.
oh, that was my. It's still kind of my space, isn't it? Really,
Yeah.
like those sorts of things. But she's completely cool with it. And then they're looking at Malcolm, and I think probably my favorite thing the entire episode
Go on,
is
do it.
the tiny little head wobble she gives. It's like, come
Yeah.
on, Malcolm, do something.
Do something.
Yeah. Oh, where because Bingo. That's Bingo's line.
No,
Or Bluey's
no,
line?
Bluey says
it's
that.
Bluey.
Do
It goes,
something and
do something.
Oh,
And there's
right.
This tiny,
Oh,
almost
wow.
imperceptible
Watching it
little
again.
head wobble.
He had us.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh
He
man.
had us. He's like, what's Malcolm doing? not much.
God, what a masterclass this whole episode. And I don't know if this like evokes the same thing in you guys, but just having like an older brother who's like I got like hand-me-downs and whatnot, and then moving a lot in rooms because I was, you know, one of 7 kids. So I've got like at one point before Erin was born, it was like 3 boys, 3 girls, and it was the girls' room, the boys' room. And then, and I think at one point, maybe it was 4 girls in the one room. I can't remember. It was a long time ago. But there was a lot of moving around the rooms and moving furniture within our room.
Oh.
It was a really cool thing. Like when Ryan and I just kind of like decided this weekend we're going to put the beds against this wall and we measured it up and just even things that aren't changing, like not much is changing, just moving from one room to the other in this episode, but just the way that feels as a kid, just the new thing. And even though Bingo's like I thought of this because you said when Bingo moves her bed, like even though it's the same room, Bingo's not moving. It's her room now and it's different. And sometimes the change can feel like new something. It works so well because it just feels so much like an older sibling and a younger sibling because Bluey's getting the new thing and Bingo's not, but
she's
still
making
getting
her
something
own.
new of it.
Like when my dad got like a new cordless drill and gave his cordless drill to Ryan, so I got Ryan's 240 volt drill from like 1970. You know, try telling me that's not my new awesome drill.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
And it just really felt like how it felt as a kid when something's different, something changes, something graduates.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I didn't even perceive it from that
Yeah.
angle until you started talking about like the idea that just having that control over something that usually is like really standard.
Yeah.
And even that works in terms of a kid's show of changing things up a bit. And it does feel, it does feel quite strange when Bluey's in the other room and kind of going to bed.
Right.
And it's not, it breaks the mold that we've been, that classic sort of sitcom thing of this is what all the sets look like.
Yeah,
and stuff
right.
like that.
Yeah.
But and it really does recreate that feeling of, I don't even remember doing much moving stuff around, but just the ability to like, oh, I can put this in my, or I can
Yeah.
like, I think for me it was getting new furniture. Like when I got a desk in my room so I could study.
Yeah.
So it really is that, that thing of
Yeah.
like just being able to do things in your own space is new different thing. Bag's not.
Yes. Damn it. So good. The feet on the floor and then Bag's not. And then the second time. Bag's not.
Bag's not.
So he's like, oh, again.
And he's like, too good.
That delivery from Dave McCormack. Too good. And just like thumbing your phone,
scrolling on his
just
phone.
half lying down. It's so hard. What a mood. It's so relatable. Everything in this episode's so relatable.
I also love, just when Chili finally comes down to the end, it's like, you're going to have to move the bed. The way that she just kind of crawls across the couch and all falls and just
snuggles
curls
into
up
him.
on and just slap.
Yeah.
And,
What a
and it's
married
just like-
couple.
yeah.
Just such a just married couple in one moment there.
Normally I'd ding you here saying you're invested in their relationship, but I don't have
You
the
don't
dingers.
You don't have the
anymore.
dings. They're in a
It's
box somewhere.
It's in a box. But there's great bandit chili. But I just love the fact that it's, they're such a good couple that they can have those games and you can win and it's not bad blood.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like, they know ultimately at the end of the day, it's going to play out.
And I think that's sort of what I was reaching at when I was saying like Bandit not getting in tune with the emotional moment that Chili's having. Like there's no bad blood. It's just he's like, I just love I love being able to watch different experiences for characters, but still enjoy them because I trust that they're both going to have those at different times. I don't know.
Yeah, that's it. I think, you get quite a bit of fluctuation between the characters and
which
like,
is
they
so
play different
fun
roles
all the time.
Yeah, because people aren't always just the same people.
Yeah, exactly.
People change.
So
Things
it's
like
real
moods happen.
and fun and funny.
I think one of my other favorite moments from the episode is Bingo doing the wind up. Then it gets
Oh,
about
yes.
half a foot and then hits mum in the foot.
and runs away.
Her face
Busted.
is just so mum's so angry, and then just runs off.
The animation of those notes sliding,
Oh,
like the
that's
second
so
one,
good.
how it
Yeah.
hits the rug and then just tips up and
Flips
falls
over.
and just
Yeah.
like,
I knew you would say
why
that.
would you? You
And
don't
that's-
need to do this, guys, but you do. And
I
it
think
makes
they
it.
knew they had something special because that's also the end credits animation.
Yes.
The paper
it
comes
is.
out and it does that, just pivots and then flips
Ah.
over, and you're like, oh, that's gorgeous to watch. Like,
And just the content of those notes.
Yeah.
I teased
Oh.
two bandits with it. I said, Mike, maybe not right now at this moment, but I knew Greg had the two girls
Yes.
Yep.
at exactly that right age. And I just said, your heart is going to be torn apart by this sisterly love. And just, oh, yeah, I need the bottle. And like kind of just dragging out bedtime.
Yeah.
Dragging up.
And which is very real. And then I only know that because I'm a living uncle,
Yeah.
and I don't
Ding.
live it like you guys do, but I see it, and I don't know how you do what you do. But the dragging out of bedtime, and then the bottle, and then another letter come through,
Yeah.
just a love heart, and just it's such
And
a special episode.
And the music in that bit,
Ah.
just the just various few notes, just telling that little story
Yeah.
about these little notes coming, these little,
Just
little
only a few
messages coming
notes,
back.
little
Yeah,
notes.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
and even right at the start, like it sets that scene for. To that point, this is the first time we've ever seen this room
yeah,
in the Healer house, and so those
first
people,
time we've ever seen that door.
correct. So
Yeah.
those people who had done a 3D render of the Bluey house were just like, "There's another room. I
Yeah.
need to redo my whole design." But the music in that first scene, you hear just a couple of almost sad little like piano notes that go. It's that real pensive sort of, and then you see Chili upset, and you know straight away that this is a moment before
Yeah.
Chili's actually even said anything. You're like, "Oh, we're
Yeah.
we're sad. We're
Yeah.
emotional
Yeah.
to start the episode."
Yeah.
Which is a bold choice for a season opener.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
It was effectively the opener. I mean,
Yeah.
you look back at the table on Wikipedia now, and it will have Perfect listed as Ep1. But because of the way it came out, like my experience will always be that Bedroom were like, we're back. You
I
know,
believe
we're
there was a
back.
break as well. There wasn't
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Bedroom didn't follow up the week after sort of thing. There was a bit of time
Yeah,
passed.
I think so.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have to check.
'Cause there was a
we'll have to
little
check
bit of a-
Wikipedia, but we don't have the internet because it's in a box somewhere.
It's in a box somewhere. The entire internet.
Yeah.
It was a big box. I carried that one because I'm so strong.
It's actually
remember?
it was actually really light. 'Cause
Remember how I
Wi-Fi-
picked it up and I said, it's not so bad.
Wireless, man. It's pretty light.
I'll get this one, guys. I'll get this one. I'll pick up the internet. You guys have a rest.
Was it actually just a black box with a red light on it? That's it. That's the
Yeah.
internet, right?
Yep.
I think so. That's
To
what
anyone
I've
who
got.
gets
Don't turn
that,
it
to
off.
anyone who
Yeah.
gets that reference, I love you.
You broke the internet.
Oh, there was one other cameo we haven't talked about. Anyone see Sticky Gecko in the
Yes,
hallway?
of course.
Of course.
There is
Yeah.
there's one sequence in which he moves as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just
It's
sort of
like,
the
it just goes
head.
bloop.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then he
it
ends
just
up
on the
like-
pop
on
Yeah.
the plant. Yeah.
So good.
Long
Can-
dogs though.
Oh,
Ooh.
yes. Actually, I was going to go back to something I was saying earlier,
Oh.
but no, we should because I'm just going to cry again. But long dog spotting is probably better to do. Anything?
Any ideas, Frank?
Nah, I didn't see it.
There is one underneath the feeding chair. So they feed in the
the
chair in
opening
Bluey's
scene?
Oh,
room.
Ah,
Yeah.
It's during a little bit later in
Right.
when they've been moving some stuff in there. So it's
Fantastic.
there. It's like
Cool.
brown one.
Good
underneath.
job.
Anyway, Brendan, continue whimpering Willie.
well, just the whole not just enjoying this episode for what it was when I first saw it, and then just seeing how tidy it is and how it says that it's not the thing, it's connection to people or whatever.
Yeah.
Yep.
The stories about
It's
the
the
people that
aura
are there.
of
And
the
just
thing.
and she says it at the start. Chili sets it up at the start of the episode, and then just it's the final line of the episode when Bandit's like, "Oh, did she miss her
Yeah.
old room?" She goes, "No, it's not the room." And you complete that line you said. It's who's in it. It's
Yep.
like they. It's not the room that she misses. It's this show is telling the people who watch it that these characters are important to each other and they are the important thing. And there's all this fun stuff that happens, and there's all these fun things that they have and do, but it's just a story about human connection, and that's so special. It's I just can't.
What a beautiful couplet.
There it is.
Ding. Oh,
Ding.
damn it. I don't have the thing.
You can have as many boxes as you want. You can put that in a box, inside a box, inside another box.
I'm still going to find
He's
it.
going to find it.
I'm going to find that somewhere.
He's going to find two of
I
them.
just shake all the boxes. I know exactly what it
He can
sounds like.
smell. He can smell a couplet.
I can smell.
You should see this guy looking for a couplet. You won't be waiting long.
Speaking of finding something,
Mhm.
I've just had a quick sneaky look on the Bluey Wiki.
Ooh.
Here's an interesting theory I hadn't considered. In the previous episode, Perfect,
Mhm.
is where we see Bandit talking to Fido about, in a very surreptitious
yes.
way, about getting the sniff.
Mhm.
So the
Yeah.
theory goes, it's possible that this may have this action may have gone through,
Yeah.
given that the baby room is now
Being
being
deconstructed.
deconstructed because there is no
Food for
possibility
thought.
of said future
Food
baby.
for thought.
And I got to keep them in a little jar.
That was going to be my next question. Do you reckon they let him keep it?
There's one thing I do want to mention. It would be remiss of me not to point out. Like, I think one of the things that's really interesting is the lighting, because Lampy moves into the new room, so Bluey's room keeps this really warm light,
Right.
and then in the old bedroom, it's a little bit darker, and
Yeah.
'cause
A
it's
bit
the
blue.
bunny
Yeah.
night light or the other light.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's just the story is told through like different times of the evening as well.
Mhm.
So it's another one of those beautiful episodes where you don't think about it enough. How much they're actually, because it's not a space. It's not like they just waited until the evening and then they filmed some more.
Yeah,
It's
right.
like
They've
and
had
they're
to
not-
colour
decision.
it that
they
way.
don't just
Yeah.
change the
Yeah.
lights. They have to go through and change the color palette
Yeah.
of what's
Yep.
on the on
Yeah.
the frame on the shot.
Yeah.
And it's just so beautiful, and
Yeah.
it's imperceptible, but your subconscious picks up on it, and
Yep.
it just makes a.
It's like what Joff said about the music. You know, they might not realize they're noticing it, but on some level, we're
You are
noticing
noticing
it,
it,
and it's
yeah.
telling the story.
Yeah, that's it.
MVP.
Ooh, Malcolm.
That was going to be my answer.
To Malcolm.
Has to be Chili, I think. For me, just setting it up and then knocking it out of the park. I don't know. It's hard.
Yeah, I think they're all like, for an episode, you could easily say that this is it's a Bluey Bingo Chili story,
Yeah.
and but even Bandit in the few
No.
fleeting lines that he
I'm-
has, I'm
Team Bandit for this one.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Because like there's one moment we haven't spoken about. Well, there's I think did we say clear? Clear.
I was going to say that at the end.
Ah. But clear, there's so much in that moment as a parent of just like, now I'm free again for a few hours.
Yeah.
As soon as the kids are down and you don't have to go to sleep yet,
Yeah.
Clear.
that is
Yeah.
you time. You get to become yourself a little bit.
Yeah.
So I can feel that moment very much. But as he's walking out of the room, he does this beautiful little thing. Have you noticed? As he's walking out of the room, because he's walking past Chili in the door frame, and you see him just rest his hand on her arm for a brief second.
Oh,
So doing that thing of like, walking past someone, but
Yep.
like
yeah.
touching them to let them know where you are, or
Yeah.
that sort of thing, where
Yep.
you're at. And it's just a really beautiful little piece as they go through, as that it's that, they're cuddling up on the couch, they're
Yeah.
mucking around, he's, all those sorts of things, but it's always them together.
Such real communication
Yes.
between them. Yeah.
yeah.
On every
Verbal,
level. Yeah.
physical,
Yeah.
all that
Absolutely.
sort of stuff.
I'm going with Bingo on this one, only
Bingo,
because
yeah.
like
She takes
she's
it all in her stride,
she-
really.
yeah,
There's-
like
Yeah, that's true.
As the younger child in that scenario, she could have easily just gone like change is scary to
Yeah.
kids, right?
Yeah.
And so she could have easily just chucked a wobbly and just gone, no, don't leave me, right? But she handled it really well. She divided up the toys really
Yeah.
well. And
her room does look a little bit
it looks
more
massive.
bare.
Yeah.
Massive.
More bare than
Yeah.
Bluey's. Bluey's, it kind of looks like it's
looked
really
like a smaller room, to be honest.
It looked like maybe a smaller room, but had like the stuff set up in a way that looked kind
Yeah.
of, maybe it was a carryover
Yeah.
from the mobile and everything like that. But it does look less bare and almost more lived in than
Mm.
Bingo's end up.
Well, that's that
ends up
spare
looking.
room that everyone has at home. We just go, where do you put this? Spare
Spare
room?
room?
Yeah.
Like,
But I just kind of wrote,
Misk?
I just kind of wrote that the way they end up looking off as just like a Bingo and Bluey thing. Like,
Yeah.
it's kind of like Bingo, younger kid. Of course, they're not going to get all the stuff,
Yeah.
but she's cool with it. And also, she's just like going along. I don't know.
Yeah. I think
it didn't seem wrong that
Yeah.
it looked like that.
She's a bit more innocent, because there's that shot where you see Bluey where she registers in her face that, hang on, something doesn't feel right about this, and she's trying to work out why, and Chili picks that up and just goes, "Are you okay, Bluey?" And she's really sad. Bingo's just whatever. She's just doing her thing. But at the end, and then that final shot where the two of them are cuddled in the bed, I'm pretty sure is it Bluey who's gone back to the original room, or is that
No,
who's switched beds at that point?
At that point, I believe it to be Bingo's come into
That's-
Bluey's
yeah.
bed.
Yeah, because who sends the note? Bluey sends
Bluey
the note
sends the
over
note
thing,
to Bingo.
kind of
Yeah.
like
One
an
more
invitation.
note.
Yeah.
Yes,
One more night.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a good point. Like, that's a good moment to bring up when Chili's like, "Now, what's going?" Because that's a real pickle moment. Like from what other episode is it that just there must be a reason you're being such a pickle today.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
and you can't hit me with the roll up this way, but you don't have the sound. But it's in a box somewhere. But don't hit me with the box. That would hurt. A box of roll up magazines.
We just,
Well,
we just put it over your head.
Yeah.
Well, we do have one spare spot on the soundboard. If you can record a box being thrown at someone, I will gladly
Okay.
play it. What's your brother Steve doing? You can throw a box at him, right?
That's a long throw.
Adelaide to Perth. It's not
I'm
that
pretty
far.
tough though. I can pick up the internet. But yeah, that moment of this parent is frustrated with something going on, or it's just it's not ideal. It's not an ideal situation, but still taking the time to go. Now, what's the reason? Like, let's ask you a question. Let's be there for your feelings. That's nice. Oh man, yeah. If you let me, I will continue talking forever. So don't let me.
Clear.
Instead, what we should. Nice one. Instead, you did it. It's you promised you would. No, instead, what we could do is give some credit where credit's due.
Let's do that.
Let's do it. And by do it, I mean say that in the animation department for this episode, there was a young person named Max Gibson.
Hooray!
Thank you so much, Max. I was looking into Max, and it looks like they might be new to the animation team this
Ooh.
episode.
Oh, okay. So
And,
this is their first one.
From IMDb, that's the best I can tell, because they don't seem to have any other credits other than joining. The first credit is this episode.
Yeah.
And then they've been with us all the way up until the most recent season 3 eps.
Yeah, right.
So
Wow.
So maybe Max, was it?
Max Gibson, yes.
Max designed the bedroom.
Could be.
They said, "Hey, we need a new room. Well, our current artist team are tapped out. Max, what do you got?" And they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I like it. You can stay."
Could be.
Mm.
And even if not, they played some huge part in this episode.
Of course.
And Max, you're a legend. Take some credit. It's blue.
Where it's blue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As much as you like. Thank you. So Marty, in your big move, did you need any boxes? Well, we've always spoken about the boxes,
I
but
needed tape.
you needed tape.
Yep.
Yeah.
You needed. Did you have a sack truck or any
No,
kind of thing like
you
that?
guys.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't need a sack tub. Yeah. Don't need a sack
don't
truck
need a
when you
sack
got
tub
these.
either.
Oh, I was going to edit around that joke to make it.
Now you have to leave it in.
Now I have to leave it in.
That's staying in the edit.
I don't do that much, listeners. I don't edit myself so I sound better.
And us, so we sound worse.
No, I promise I try to make us all sound better equally. That's my promise to you. And my other promise to you is if you're moving, I'll come and help you. I shouldn't say that.
Wow. Look
I shouldn't
out.
say that. No. Don't approach me. In fact, someone else approached me to ask to help them move this weekend.
Oh.
And I had to decline because I've got too much on. So I've already broken my promise before I even made it.
Welcome to the Brendan's
So-
Moving podcast.
So before Brendan has a chance to make other plans, come find him down.
Aisle 300.
left at the moving boxes.
And if you can't find your new address, you've gone too far.
I nearly did go too far. I nearly went all the way to Sheila's mum and dad. We were around the corner. That's a joke about how our friend lives near where Martin lives now. Bye!
Created and produced by Frank, Brendan and Marty. You can follow the Hammerbarn Project on facebook.com/HammerbarnProj, at HammerbarnProj on Twitter, or Hammerbarn_project on Instagram. Theme featuring Nibblings, Kaylee, Jade, Ashley and Reese, and PA announcements by brother-in-law, me, Josh. Thanks for listening, and remember to get down to Hammerbarn for cheap shovels.